second, both holding on to their own map picks. This one is going to be the decider. It's going to be Villa, and it's going to be spicy. Of that much I am certain. We're heading into the bans. Damwon Kia will start us off on defense, and that means they will get to choose the first attacker taken out of the pool.
It's going to be the Jackal. There's a spicy first ban coming in out of Damwon Kia, who started the series pretty sensible, looking at things like Thatcher, Mira, you know, going for the run-of-the-mill bans that aren't really targeted, but more things you just don't want to see. The Jackal, the first one, that's an even spicier. What a sledge coming out from NaVi. Tim loved to see it. That's definitely going against Katsang and saying, mate, play that Monty some more. Please, pick it some more for us, because clearly you guys can't win when you play it. A mute ban also coming out? What is this for a ban phase?
Oh, it's certainly different. The SAS operators being targeted there. Okay, just
target the Brits. What a surprise.
Too good, Woogie man. They know. Final defender ban will come in from Damwon Kia. We'll see who they pick out. It's going to be the Mirror, so Valkyrie will remain in play once again. We saw quite a lot of Valk play back on Clubhouse when she was available. So I think we might just see a little bit more here on Villa. There's a lot of love in the chat at the minute.
To be fair, when they got out again, the first thing Damwon Kia did was jump in the chat. After Easy had said it, to be fair, I won't take that away from him, and just say congrats. You know, they were there like, oh, well done, congrats, guys. You made it, so on and so forth. And Saves clearly is not buying into this positivity. He wants some aggression. He wants some, not quite fist flying, but verbal fist flying back and forth. He wants the drama. He wants to get pumped up. And everyone's being nice and saying thank you to each other. How strange.
I think as soon as we get into this first action phase, he's going to get plenty of that, because Damwon Kia, although maybe nice in the chat, I don't think they know how to be nice in the server. They're going for wins.
Give me an A.
A.
Give me a V.
Are we doing it? V?
Give me a
G.
G. Yay! Tim guessed it. Aviator Games, the first site we start out on in this half. Damwon Kia on the defense, as mentioned. And like we saw back on Clubhouse with Valkyrie not banned away, she will be picked here, at least in round number 1. With the sledge taken off the board, Nathan's going to step across to playing on the Buck. So what you can expect to see here is him getting underneath and looking to blast out a bunch of those soft flooring. It's a beautiful thing about this map is pretty much everything is soft, except for a couple of sites. But you can choose through those floors and really make the defenders uncomfortable. We're used to seeing nades get flung skyward, but a skeleton key does the job just as well. Maybe not so much in the killing department, but at least in exposing and making defenders move. Very good at that. And if they do find a great angle, they've got Blur, they've got Doki with nades in back pocket to do some damage.
Black Eye Camera goes to the outside from Woogieman. Will feed in information about any potential push onto Study. Good placement, as long as it doesn't get spotted out, which it will get spotted out straight away by NaVi. So they are certainly looking sharp on the way in here. Woogieman, he's aware though, Des, he knows that one might just come into the art room there. He's biding his time. Surely they've seen the hatches open. He's going to drop away because I think he just had a feeling that the challenge was going to come in. It wouldn't have been an easy one for Doki, but he's in there safely. He's going to start trying to work from underneath with the nades.
I love how he shakes in game, then shakes his head in real life straight after.
We'll let you off, Doki. We can tell you there wasn't anybody there to be caught out.
Absolutely that, yeah. Oh. I mean, the one here to get caught out is Doki, because a mystery coated comes out of main stairs for the swing. Blur trading it back the other way. It's a 1-for-1. Nice shot, thank you. Please, let's not start the thank you spam all the way through. I love how Woogie stole that from Coated because it was Coated that landed the shot, and then Woogie was like, no, it's my thank you.
Yes, he's going to be holding on to main stairs to try and prevent this south-sided push, and it certainly is what NaVi are stacking up for at the minute. Blur just trying to work vertical angles, nade out. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to find his man. Yas is in position. It's just short from Blur, and Yas, he can hold on for the time being. The challenge coming in now, the pressure mounting, full white flash. Now's your time to push save. She got to go. Yas has run away. No, he's come back for more. Des finds himself a headshot onto saves, and Damwon Kia are not giving up these stairs. Nath goes down as well, and it's 3 versus 2 now.
Beautiful start then, first round, nice and explosive. It's the way that we want it to be. 2 members left alive for NaVi. They've got a lot of time to play with them, admittedly. And for some reason, all 3 Selmas still in back pocket for Secretly. They'll start getting whipped out, and Blur has also got 3 of those juices to pull. First one comes out there to give them both that little bit of overshield. Keep them still going. I feel like I'm talking about different games saying overshield. How weird. Overheal. Probably a better one to say for a brief moment. And Secretly's going to find his man. A 2 versus 2. Rin trading it back out immediately after. I've always said Damwon Damwon Kia on their trade game can be lethal, and now Blur has got to do it all. A big clutch to do. He's got no frags in back pocket, still 2 more juice pulls. He can pull another one if he wants to and take this fight, but right now is just holding steady. Katsang off to his left, Rin up through Aviator door, and does not have the diffuser.
This is it. Blur has to find the kills here, and Damwon Kia have been able to establish themselves a reasonable crossfire. They've got one on either side of him. It's going to be difficult to challenge both sides. As soon as shots come into one, the other can challenge. Blur looks to find the man outside of maps. He's just going to peek around the corner. He just pulls away at the wrong time, and then Rin is able to step out and find that kill. It was unfortunate for Blur. He sort of sees the man, but he's just turning away at the wrong second.
Unfortunate there, but that's what it comes down to. Sometimes these little moments in the dying seconds where Damwon Kia come out on top. 1-0 to them. And things starting here, as you'd expect, defenders being the go-to winners. NaVi, though, I thought had a good flurry in the mid-round, to be honest with you, Tim. Wouldn't have been too surprised if they fought their way back into that one and did close it out, but maybe that'll be reserved for the offsite. For now, we go towards Trophy and Statuary, and that Thunderbird being brought along is pretty saucy. We've seen a lot of use of Thunderbird throughout the week, to be honest with you. Well, that's a lie, and I'm definitely over-exaggerating. We haven't seen a lot of use. We've seen limited use, but effective use when she has been in play. Whether that's stacking all 3 together for roamers to run through and get themselves juiced back up to full, whether it's more scattered around the map for those that are holding key positions to say that keep themselves relatively healthy away from grenades, for example. But it's always interesting when we do see it brought along, bearing in mind she also has a C4 in back pocket.
Going to be heading then. Trophy, Statuary, the setup starts out. Interestingly, the Woogieman has reinforced the far left panel. That is the one big variation that we tend to see to defences on this site. Thank you very much. Easy over on the left-hand side. Sometimes that one will be left open to allow challengers through into closet. You take out a little bit of the soft wall in bathroom and you can see all the way through to the window. It can be a perilous hold sometimes, as obviously the challengers can come in the other direction as well. So Damwon Kia choosing to just lock that off. They're going to go with a bog standard triple wall. Couple of reinforcements downstairs as well as operators in and around that area would suggest to me that they are going to try and hold on to Dining Kitchen, and given the attempts that we saw coming out of Doki last time around trying to find those vertical nades, that doesn't surprise me, because look at what Doki's going to try and do. He wants to get straight in underneath and start using those vertical nades.
I was about to say, what does he want to do, Tim? And I thought you were going to say he wants to drone in 12 feet in front of him, then dive in the window and try and kill everything that moves. Classic Doki style, but not meeting anyone down here on the main stairs. More just shooting at the default camp and working his way back up red. Almost finding a man who was stepping out into the red corridor. I think it was Yas who was there for a brief second, but not connecting any shots.
Doki will then head upstairs rather than trying to work underneath in dining and kitchen. He's going to take himself up from the south side, look to get through study and maps, and then potentially pressure onto site. But he will more than likely meet some resistance before he gets himself to establish. We've got one that can move up the red stairs. In fact, Doki, well aware of that, he's going to look to cut off the angle and he's going to get the drone out. And this is where he likely finds the presence inside of Memorial.
That's what he's looking for, really, right? Just that one entry to start things off, but it's secretly the man we were talking about on the last map, 1 and 4 on entry, has found his one. Bringing down Woogieman on the other side, who apparently, it's like having his hair cut, right? Well, I did this wrong last time. I said Hercules. Who was it again?
It was not Hercules, it was Samson.
It was Samson. That's the guy. Samson. Got his hair cut and suddenly became weak. Woogieman has had the mute cut away from him and is now 0 and 2. Not the best start to a game that he would have been looking for. Doki trying to take a little peek on here, a quick peek in, trying to find a man, can't quite find him and bring him down. So a drone's going to go in, feed some more information over to the other side to give Doki a bit more information on what is going on. As the drone rifles its way through bedroom, they're going to spot out Katsang. Know that he's in a pretty precarious position. Yes, Katsang, 2 coming back in for DK, looking good for them, 3v3 in the round.
No matter how good a start NaVi have here on Villa, it just feels like Damwon Kia are able to control the round. Katsang's waiting on the window, sees his man, hits shots onto secretly, dips himself away. He's lucky not to take some in the back, and the little duel continues between the two as they dance from window to window, secretly able to at least recover the diffuser. So a point in the credit for NaVi there, but Blur trying to soften up site itself with some nades. As soon as that peek comes in, Yas is very lucky not to lose his life there. Blur just snatching at an opportunity, and there comes the Toxic Babe canister to try and slow things down. It's too easy for saves.
Oh, look at this. Secretly just inside the line of the smoke as well. Able to get this plank coming down. They can't stop him. Yes, they can. But saves traded out straight away onto Katsang. Was very, very close for a second, but gets the cross in towards Master and makes sure NaVi collects round number 2. 1 for 1 once again.
That really could have gone either way. at that point. It was very, very close to the plant going down for starters, but also it was close for the Damon Kia player to potentially be able to dip away and continue fighting in that tough situation. 1-1 we find ourselves now on the scoreboard. NaVi fighting for the full win here, because the thing is, it's an opportunity to potentially catapult themselves up the table.
Tim, are you hungry?
I am a little bit.
Oh yeah, good thing, because we're going into dining room and kitchen, mate. Let's cook ourselves up a storm downstairs on the offsite. This is the one that I thought NaVi might be able to take away the win on, but I throw myself back to Dark Zero versus TSM when we were on Villa. Trophy and Statuary was the offsite. They played all 4 sites, both of them did, picking every single site on the map. But Trophy and Statuary came in after we'd seen Living and Library, after we'd seen Dining and Kitchen, and after we'd seen AVG. So by far and away, not quite the most popular at the moment. You may even call that the offsite and Dining and Kitchen more the secondary. So here, Damon Kia could walk away as the winner, as we get a lot of screams.
I think there might be something happening in the MIBR.
I'll tell you what, let me check in with our observer. I'll be back in a minute, Tim.
Going absolutely wild over there.
MIBR 6-4.
We can hear them. There you go.
I'm back.
I tell you what, this is getting mixed up now, this group.
Is it that bad? No, because I think if NaVi win this and MIBR win what they're about to win,
it should just be Team 1 gone.
Team 1 are already gone. That's the setup, but now it's about ordering. Oxygen will be the team that fall into the lower bracket straight away. Oof. So NaVi will jump to 3rd.
That's what I mean. NaVi somehow need a map to qualify.
What's a well-known
here and go through?
So have we got any well-known robbers in the UK? Any infamous bandits from times of old?
I think there was. I can't remember his name.
They're highwaymen. We'll go as boring as that, right? Yeah. They have literally robbed it on the last day when they were facing potential relegation against the team that haven't lost anything, have the spot to go on and potentially jump into 3rd. What a storyline that would be. Yas falling by the wayside is going to give NaVi a great boon in their quest for 3rd place. 5 versus 4, very early in the round.
Very good start there. It was an opportunity for Yas potentially. I think he just had the jump on Doki coming in. Should have been able to hear him, but Doki able to beat him to the punch and quicker on the trigger finger. He's going to look to move through. Does he know there's one just inside? No! Oogie Man again, just missing an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
We've seen a few of them so far. Blurtex half damage, but we'll live to fight another day.
What's he going to do without the mute, Tim? Apparently not a lot. Give him the pea shooter of an MPX instead and just watch him.
No, I have nightmares about the MPX. I'll play a lot of Valk, and
me too.
I know what it's like.
I love it. I love it because it's a laser beam. There's basically no recoil, but the damage, if you're hitting the body, not so hot. Katsang, also not so hot. Doki, a 2nd in the round, making it a double. 5 versus 3, and they've got tons of time to work with here, Tim.
The top floor control is in the hands of NaVi. They're able to start working downwards, but Corted's going to put pair to that. He's going to find himself a little nitro kill onto Doki just to try and give them something inside of this round to grasp onto. 3 versus 4 now. Advantage still sits with NaVi, but Damon Kia just proving that they can fight back and lock down sight. Nath is going to get in there with the book and start opening up the floor, and there's plenty of time for him to do this here. Plenty of time to go. He can really start working on those angles.
Tell you what, production has sorted us out. We've got like a whole grid breaking down all the potential outcomes and what can work through. We'll talk through that in just a moment when we've got a bit more time, because for now Blur is making sure that we are short on it, aware that he's only got 45 seconds to get this one over the finish line. Nath getting to work on the upstairs on this buck. We've seen him picking in the last couple of rounds as well. Not really seen it come to great effect, but on this site where vertical play is everything, it should start raining through. Blur with an Aiden hand gets taken down by Coated, and he's going to push his way up red. If he can find Blur here on the if he can find Nath on the upstairs, this could be a big turnaround. Gets shot down on Nath as he vaults over the side to join his team. It's a 3 versus 1. Woogie got to clutch up. His name's Samson, some might say, without his hair. Out comes the C4. Will be able to stop the plant going down, but traded out by Nath. It's a great start to Villa so far for NaVi.
It is, especially on the attack. They're looking pretty confident. They're going in there winning the gunfights. Woogie Man struggling on the Valkyrie. So have we found the answer to one of our most deadly players so far?
That can't
be Hit me with the info, Des. Hit me with the details.
If NaVi win and MIBR win, which MIBR are about to do, NaVi don't get 3rd.
They get 2nd.
They get 2nd.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. In fact, NaVi can only finish 3rd and above. MIBR will always finish below now, because I think no matter the outcome... Is that right? I'll have to check that in a minute. Because they were 1 point behind, weren't they?
It's a very confusing...
MIBR 2-0 NaVi, right?
There's a lot of outcomes.
MIBR 2-0 NaVi.
I'd have to check.
I'm going to go and check.
Go on, check.
You can do the casting thing.
I'll do the casting.
The main reason why we're here, I'll just...
There's a lot of games happen over these days, and it's difficult for us to remember every single score perfectly.
Honestly, people turn around to us throughout the day and go, oh, what game's you casting tomorrow? And it's like, I don't know. We've prepped like 10.
We've prepped like 10. We've been working like 12, 13-hour days. It sort of gets...
Oh, no. NaVi did beat MIBR 2-0.
There you go.
So yes, they do have that head-to-head advantage. Spicy. That does mean NaVi can only finish in third. They can't finish fourth, and at best they finish second. There's only one outcome. It's like the whole Avengers thing with Doctor Strange, where he's like, I've seen a million outcomes. This is the one where it all goes right. That one outcome, there's 4 of them though, it's not quite a million, but the one that they need to happen is NaVi win and MIBR win. Otherwise, NaVi finish in third. That's all you need to know.
I tell you what, if NaVi go through in second after the struggles that they've had, what an absolute steal it'll be for them. If you said to them coming into this morning...
Highwaymen.
If you'd have said to them coming in this morning, you're going to finish second and you're...
I'll tell you what, I don't know if Bart's listening to this, but if he can Photoshop like Blur and the Bandits, I don't know what bandit image you can find from somewhere, but I would love to just see that on social media at some point. If they get second, that is.
They've certainly got away with it, that much is for sure. They've still got to win this one out though.
So, MIBR won.
Prize.
Now we need to win to get second.
There we go, they still need to win to get that big prize, as I was saying. They have to lock this down. They need to just continue with the momentum really. DAMWON Kia have been affected, I think. You know, you've got to say that it's not all down to Woogie Man, but taking him off the mute seems to have had some impact on him. He's just not as comfortable on the Valkyrie necessarily. We've seen him lose a couple of gunfights that maybe otherwise he comes out victorious from.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, Tim, I feel like I dialed out for this game for so long talking about numbers that I'm tuning back into a whole new game. It's beautiful. As Nade start looking at raining in from below. Doki positioning himself up. Oh, didn't respect main stairs. Just goes to walk up red corridor and pays the price.
Courted finding that opener. Blur just trying to use those vertical nades. Again, something that NaVi just haven't really had any joy with yet. Courted doubles down his total for the round, gets himself a second. Nath decides it's time that something is done about that and goes in and takes him off the main stairs despite the toxic babe canister. He knows there's one above him, so he's just going to start eating away at the floor. Beautiful play, Nath. Beautiful use of that buck. 2 kills in about 30 seconds, including Woogie Man now. Levels things up 3-3.
We spoke about that nade and buck play from below, and Nath has just pulled it off to perfection. Charging up main, shutting down Coated, and then finding Woogie off the back of a yellow ping. Brings us back to a 3 versus 3 after a couple of tragic losses for NaVi earlier on in the round. But main stairs probably what they're looking for. Yas has been forced away from playing on there and will get himself back on site. So, DAMWON Kia starting to consolidate their positions. There's 2 holding up towards red landing. Katsang still playing on main stairs. For NaVi, you've got Blur coming up from hard north, secretly coming up red. And I believe that means that our last man of Nath is pushing him from south by himself. So 3 potential 1v1s about to erupt.
Rin manages to find Blur, manages to find a second. Great play from Rin. Nath gets one in and amongst there, but he's now 1v2. He's going to have to kill absolutely everybody if they want to win this round. He has the 3 so far, and there is still 2 ahead of him. He takes out the Banshee, looking to push forward, but the man behind the shield just dips away, hits him with a couple of shots on the fade back, and then finishes it from the door. Katsang starts him on the right, finishes him with the left.
It was a good round from Nath, getting a 3k, but slightly better coming out from DAMWON Kia. Now balances things up, Tim. 2-2 we sit at. So, reminds me of Club. I'm pretty sure Club started out the same way, where we stayed pretty neck and neck for the longest time. And then DAMWON Kia pulled ahead, and then NaVi played catch-up, and yeah, you can see where everything went from there, basically. All the way through to overtime for the second map in a row. Worth noting again that we've only avoided 1 potential round out of the maximum number of rounds we can play. 14 rounds on map 1, 15 on map 2, so far of course into round 5 here on map number 3, and it's going to be inside of Trophy and Statuary once again.
Saw this back in round number 2. It was a NaVi win. They were able to overrun DAMWON Kia and take the round from them. We'll see if they can do the same again. We've had a lot of that play from underneath from NaVi, wanting to get in and clear that out. Last time around, Doki did try to just get himself in through the south side. He went up the main stairs, in through maps, across to play on towards red stairs. So maybe a little bit more attention downstairs. There was a bit of a battle there, if you remember. We had Yas underneath in Memorial, which looks like exactly where he's going to set up a game. But instead of playing directly into it, NaVi sort of worked around him to begin with.
Absolutely. Okie doke. Bandit. I spoke about this earlier on. It's the more active style of bandit tricking rather than bringing Kai, which is kind of a fire and forget with those electro claws. Does mean he'll have to be contesting against Secretly, who's playing on the ace here. We'll deploy all three at this point. I guess it's maybe the fear of like having when you have it at the top of the wall, for example, where a lot of them will just chuck it. You make it very easy to kill from the other side, just shoot out the soft wall, dump a nade over. You can't really contest into bedroom at all. So this may be just trying to force them to get that little bit closer, to dump down and collect everything off on the other side. I don't know. Let's go and find out exactly what the game plan is here. Woogieman, of course, will have the C4 in back pocket as well. So they've got two of those to dump in. The shield out of coated, already been placed down too. So lots in their favor here for a good, solid hold in which they could look to play from below. Katsang is holding on the back downstairs, mind you. So for Doki and the rest of NaVi, it might be a game plan to get control of Southside, move your way up, get control of dining and kitchen, and then look at your top floor execute.
Same method of entry for Doki so far. Gets himself into art, moves up main stairs as I suggested, and then he's going to look to push from the south side. Very quick droning. The thing is, you can over-drone things. You don't want to go too far ahead because in Siege things are always changing, and the further that drone gets away from you, the longer that you're using it for, the more unknown the things are that are behind it. The things that you've already seen have time to change. People have time to move into those spaces and repopulate them, so that's why Doki works as quick as he does. Now then, Saves is going to spot out the man just behind that soft wall there, but they need to be careful. He's got an opportunity potentially here.
He's got to get a real, like, perfect ping onto this as well. I think maybe repelling there behind the sound of Doki going in for the gunfight at the same time.
But the man waiting for.
Yeah, he may well have moved away. Was it? It was Yas standing outside that wall here. So Saves comes up at the right time, then yeah, this is an absolute freebie, but the timing needs to be spot on.
It was, for me, just the team.
Here we go! There it is!
Absolutely beautiful kill there, and we've just seen fantastic footage of it. Thank you very much, Easy. Absolutely wonderful spotting that. Like we say, just using that sound to mask. He was waiting to put the rappel on the wall, because as soon as Yas hears that, he's going to dip away, but he had no idea that it was there. Beautifully played. Katsang looking to challenge on towards bathroom window. He's just predicting somebody's going to drop, and he will be correct.
Oh!
Second hits him with a 180-degree swing, and that's a beauty from Katsang to level things out.
Oh.
And just like this game, this round is going back and forward. 3 versus 3 now.
I don't think he knows for a second there that Katsang managed to dip away, but he has relocated himself out. Will he get sprayed through the bathroom wall? No, they did try, but Nath about a second behind where he should have been there. Woogie also finding Doki. Big round swing back coming in from these two players on the side of DAMWON Kia. Otherwise, this round was starting to look a little bit tragic.
It was. Nath gets himself inside of the closet, looking to open up the soft angle there, but he's going to be blurred to get things moving with a kill onto Woogieman. Nath taking a lot of damage off that Toxic Babe canister. Now finds himself 1v2 after Coated takes down his partner, Blur. He has to go for the plant here. 4 seconds left to go. Coated will get juiced up by the corner station. Dips back. No, he doesn't need to take the fight. And that is going to be DAMWON Kia closing it out, and it's now 3-2.
All about saving that KD at the end there, Tim. I think he knew realistically he was never going to be able to stick it, so hopes they'd push in as a 2 and he might get himself the clean off to give NaVi the 3-2 scoreline. Instead, it's DAMWON Kia. Now on 2 rounds back-to-back, we go back down into the offsite. It was here, actually, I think, on Trophy and Statuary where NaVi last won. Dining and Kitchen, a bit less so. That's where they found themselves now backing into AVG and then straight across into Trophy and Statuary where they found 2 wins. So Dining and Kitchen maybe you're favouring NaVi here a little bit. They've got the Capitao on side again. We saw that quite a bit on the last map as well. It's a great effect when assaulting in towards the catwalk. So we'll see what Saves can do with it too. Oryx.
We're going to have the Oryx.
You know why he's doing that?
Because he can't kill with
Because he can't kill with the MPX. It's like, I need a better gun.
Nobody can. 2 kills so far for Woogieman, and you will be forgiven after the performance that you've given us so far. Pure entertainment coming out of this DAMWON Kia side. Not just Woogieman, of course. He has taken a little bit of the spotlight, but as a team unit, they are functioning extremely well at the minute. Woogieman just running around with the bailiff, just opening up a few of those angles, hatches. He's going to climb his way up. It's just a playground for him.
Well, he's got to have some fun somehow, because he's not having much fun in the kills department, Tim. He's 2-5. Not really the big stellar performer that we've seen so far throughout the competition. And the thing is, I don't want to say, oh, it's because he's just bad. No, he's been target banned in this map, let's not forget. He's had that mute taken away from him. That's where he often shines. On the attacking side, it's things like the Maverick, which is Not really necessary on this map. Some teams do like to bring it for attacking into Trophy and Statuary, but not really for any other. So it might turn out to be a quiet map for him, which just gives others the chance to shine. So far, that's Katsang and Coated, the two names that we don't really ever get to raise, to be honest with you. If they're the ones who get to be the shining stars of this map, no complaints.
So be it. Push comes in from the south side then. One last time for NaVi to attack here. It is round 6, and they're looking to see if they can get Villa locked down. Pushing towards the 90 corridor from main stairs. They're working over towards dining and kitchen, so the aim here is going to be to take the vertical control to begin with, but the only thing getting taken is Saves getting taken out, and it's going to be Rin who dishes out the punishment there, taking down the Capitao Des. Big loss.
I mean, that was what they were riding on. You know, you bring an operator like this as your sort of off-pick or the one that's a bit different because you want it to make a big impact for you. Yas, with this well-placed Valkyrie camera, just having Doki run around in front of him for fun. No idea that saw him out and knew where he was coming into, so there should be a bit of a call here for the members of DK to where the pressure is coming in from. They've got one or two hanging around the bottom of Astros. There's also a bit of contest coming in from the window itself. Here he comes for the swing, and Woogie's going to collect it. He goes with the T5. I am re-empowered. My hair has returned.
That's it. He just needed to switch it up. Uses the Oryx dash to get across the window space there safely, and goes on the hunt for more. 5 versus 3. Damwon Kia looking good to take the half 4-2. Which is what we would expect here on Villa, given that they are defending. NaVi will not be put off by that. Blur spots his man. Beautiful shot through the barricade, through the soft wall, and onto the master bed to take Woogie Man down. It at least reduces the deficit that NaVi are facing and leaves them now in a 3v4. Blur's moving rapidly here, maybe a bit of information on the Aruni's position, but Rin just dips in, finds the kits, and then just dips back out again, leaving Blur licking his wounds.
We've got Nathan on the upstairs still here, and Blur and Secretly kind of working their way across. I think Secretly's looking in towards Laundry, so a sort of two-pronged attack coming in with some support from above. Overall, not a bad setup, especially when you consider that Damwon Kia have already chewed through all 3 of their C4s as well. Nath is basically free here to do what he wants, but sadly Blur is not. It's Yas up on the red stairs flank, shutting down one half of this NaVi attack.
And so everything slows down a little bit as Secretly and Nath know they've got to just try and get themselves together. Beautiful shot from Secretly, but Yas elsewhere finds Nath and just piles the pressure and the difficulty onto Secretly here on the ace. He's 1 shot away, he gets 1. Can he get 2? No, Courted steps out and finds the kill, locks it down for Damwon Kia, and that's going to be 4-2 on the half.
Cozy scoreline to be going into the second half. Now we get to see Damwon Kia move across onto the attack. That last half, you could see again what the intent was for NaVi as well. Again, you sort of pincer attack coming in, but they didn't have those flank drones set down. So for Yas to come up red stairs, kill off 1 of 2 players that were trying to hit them as kind of a pairing, just really left Nath as the one man upstairs providing a little bit of light cover and Secretly having to do it all entirely by himself. We spoke a lot about Yas and his flank work back at the Sweden Major in November. Teams couldn't stop him, and there he's just gone on to do it again. And although Yas hasn't been the big standout performer at this particular event, to me, he still stands up there as one of the best players in the world. Quietly goes about his business here while others shine, and he has no issue being that player.
Getting into round number 7 then, Trophy and Statuary. It will be for the first defence coming out of NaVi. Setting up on the north side, we might usually expect to see Aviator Games be their first pick site, but there is not too much difference between the two of them, really. Blur is setting up Aviator Games, so I'm expecting to see some presence on that south side. We do often now see teams, it's a lot less common that we get the direct-to-site approach, heading straight into Master and trying to just get straight in towards Statuary. So I'd expect to see some presence from Damwon Kia on the south side, and in line with that, Doki's going to do a final reinforcement there to leave us 3 and a peak hole coming out of Aviator.
Absolutely. As it stands, we may have had some false information, Tim. I'm just doing a little bit of intel collection on exactly what the outcomes are, so we'll come back to you in a minute. Yeah, that's it. Detective Des on the case.
Detective Desichu on the case.
Okay, no. So basically, Easy came in my ear and said, oh, Oxygen 175, and I was like, what? I thought it might be R1. And it turns out, I've just looked up for Twitter very quickly, that's where my detective work takes place. Vincere has tweeted that they did lose 2-1 to MIBR. God damn it, Easy! Why do you keep baiting me like this? It does still mean NaVi, though, are in with that chance, if they win here, of jumping into second place.
Second place. Yash just held at bay by that Mozzie pest for the time being. Doki's going to take the drone out, take the opportunity. Blur and Doki really holding on to this south side, and at the minute they're holding 4 up. Des Katsang's actually on the lower level, but Coated, Woogieman, Yas all working from the balcony to try and get themselves inside of the map, and they're going to have a tough time of it because they are coming in to 2 guns, trained 1 on each entrance.
That said, they haven't taken any damage yet, and Doki is down to about half HP where he lost out in that initial gunfight, so he's going to feel a little more wary. He'll know a couple of bullets will be enough to put him out of his misery and have him removed from the round itself. Yes, Blur lurking down here knows that he's been droned out. Woogie in this case giving a bit of information that, hey, there is a guy here, can we kill him quick? Which is why he has bolted it. The thing is, he's got himself inside the bolt and needs to get himself through into red landing nice and quick, which he has now done, and he has escaped. Now Damwon Kia should have that presence of mind to say, cool, we've seen them move back, we've seen them on drones, now we step things forward.
Katsang just hitting the pause button while he gets on the drones before pushing forward in towards games room. Yas underneath, not going to get any joy with that nade, I'm afraid. Out comes a ping as well to try and support, but there's nobody playing inside of there right now, so not sure what the information was there, but they've blown it all wide open, Des, and they know they can start pushing in through Aviator Games now towards the site, which are Trophy Statuary, and they're down to under a minute. There's a lot of work for Damwon Kia to do here. They've no presence in Master Bedroom, no presence in Astro, working completely from the south side.
Woogie is rotating over though. I know it's very late, but he will have that side flank on the go. It's what he does when he's playing on these flex rolls here. It is that Nomad. For the rest of them, it is going to be a south side push. Katsang, the one who's been droning everyone in, and should be up to now join the team in just a moment. Yas is the one looking to push his way through into Statuary. Out come the smokes, which they'll have a couple more to still burn through, I believe. Yes, 2 more in back pocket for Nath, so they can stall through a bit more time, whilst Rin looks to threaten onto the other door. The thing is, Tim, it's going to come down to about that 10-second mark, and it'll be a Hail Mary push into sight and pray that nothing goes wrong.
So they're going to have as Blur finds Rin, 5v4, secretly onto Woogieman. Not 1 kill yet for Damwon Kia. They've left it too late. Des Doki gets a double. There's 1 to stop it being flawless, but that's all Damwon can do as Blur mops up the rest. And that's going to be a successful first defense from NaVi. Trophy Statuary held down, and that brings us to 3-4 on the scoreboard, and these two just keep fighting for this final map.
It's good to see that it's not going to be an outright stomp by Damwon Kia moving into the second half. Now we might find it going through to a 3rd map overtime, Tim, if it carries on, especially after how dominating that performance was as well. They found those 2 kills, the one onto Rin pushing into Trophy Doorway, onto Woogie, who was inside a Master, and they knew the last 3 then were all contained on red landing. Chuck a couple of smokes in there, hold the angles, easy as 1, 2, 3. And smart rowing game from NaVi, right? They wasted about 90 seconds of Damwon Kia's time just by having 2 players, Blur and Doki, holding down towards main stairs and inside of Aviator. Doki was down to about half HP, far from the end of the world. Add another 30 seconds to actually get to red landing, and Damwon Kia only had 60 seconds to play with, 30 of which was burnt by the smokes. So really good time management by the side of NaVi, and Damwon Kia, what I'd like to see is them doing what we commended them for back on Chalet. Take those risks, push in, go aggressive, find a couple of kills, and open the round up.
Aviator Games being set up now. Nice bulletproof camera just placed above the hatch there. Feeds information on anybody trying to push in through study. I'm interested to see how much utility NaVi are expending on the north side, because Damwon Kia very much pushed from the south when they were attacking onto Trophy Statuary. Didn't go direct to site at all. And I would almost expect the same. We've got Rin's, Coated's and Katsang's drones all on that side of the map. Blur's taken Katsang's out now, I think. No, he hasn't. They've still got 10 left. So it's just been sort of taken away and hidden out of sight, maybe drop down to the lower floor outside so that Katsang can retrieve it. But as we can see from the spawn in there, there's at least 3 pushing the north side. There's not much of a presence from NaVi there, and what is there? They're all alone in the cold, Des, because they just don't have the utility to sit behind.
Absolutely. I mean, in this case, you're bringing along a Nomad. You know, why worry about going for a full map clear? If you can take what you need on the south side, get control of main stairs by pushing in from below, air jab off the rest, that feels like a way to not find yourself restricted by time, which stung Damwon Kia in that last round. For now, at least, maybe they've got the confidence to say, no, we can deal with this, we can do the full top floor clear. We don't strictly need to worry about leaving it alone and hoping we don't get stung on the roam, for example. We'll see how they do, but if it goes wrong in this round, that's when I think that then becomes a fair case to say, maybe not, let's just lock off what we need and push to site directly.
Natus just playing on those Astro stairs for the time being. There is the potential for a flank here. He's got the use of the hole above him. I don't think he's going to catch anybody quite there. I wouldn't expect Damon Kia to be dropping that deep now. They're making progress forward and they're going to look to continue that. But secretly on the red stairs, playing in behind that Goyo shield, might just need a bit of support, might need a bit of noise to come from NaVi at some point in the round, just to draw pressure and make sure that Damon Kia are aware there's somebody behind them and that they can't just keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. It's the stall out again because we're at the 90-second mark and things have got to move, but Nathan's still got underneath them. That's a difficult one. You know, the buck as well being taken out means you remove that play that can come in from downstairs. Even with the Woogieman on side, they still come up and stung you a little bit. Unfortunate for them, because this means even with them doing the full coverage, they aren't making use of what they've got. Doki into another. NaVi looking formidable on the defensive side of things so far as he finds a second. A 2 versus 5 kicks in. Damon Kia look washed out of this round, Tim.
They really do, as you say. NaVi definitely on top now. They've got themselves on the defence of Villa Quarter, trying to make the long challenge down towards 90 elbow there, but he's not going to have any joy. 50 seconds does leave him time to rotate and try and come back to the problem from another angle. Woogieman just holding the window at the minute, but you're not going to get any joy, I wouldn't imagine, Woogieman, because NaVi have absolutely no reason to peek this. He's hoping to catch somebody rotating inside a sight. A couple of bullets into the door frame around him reminds him that he's not there alone, but it's little else that he can do at this point in time. He's sort of waiting for Quarter to try and make something happen, and he has his opportunity, but shut down as the flash goes out. Blur finds another, and this could well be a flawless round from NaVi here. They're chasing the kill onto Woogieman now, getting aggressive, pushing forward, and there is a real opportunity for them to send a message. 10 seconds left to go. Woogieman, I think he's just going to... The
Woogieman's hiding from NaVi!
Hold on to that. He's not going to give his life away. 3 seconds left to go. Blur has a think about it. There comes the challenge. Flawless round with a pistol kill.
Imagine that, the Boogeyman hiding from NaVi. Just when you thought there was nothing scarier. Apparently 5 of them all coming out for you. Here's one way to put the fear of God upside you. Here we go. 4-4. NaVi have battled back in. 2 big rounds. And Damon Kia, this... It doesn't so much feel 100% reminiscent of when I saw them first play this map against Sandbox, who at the time was still Cloud9. But they did look a little bit scattered on attacks at points. They were struggling to deal with roamers. They weren't too effective with the clock. And it's starting to work against them here too. Even when they're going for a full map clear and taking their time. Let's not forget, 90 seconds they invested in getting trophy and statuary control. They still have Nath come up behind them and get the shutdown onto one of the key members. I think it was Katsang, who died very early in the round. So they're being pulled, you know, from pillar to post, even out on the roam. They can't deal with that even when they invest 4 members into trying to deal with the roam. So again, it gives a better lean towards, let's just go direct to site and rely on good team play around the site itself than worrying about clearing the full map, because so far it hasn't worked.
Well, this could be the full defensive rotation coming in for NaVi then. They've had 2 sites successfully so far. Dining will be the 3rd if they can manage it. Like you say, they've just looked like a completely different beast here now that they've got themselves onto the defence. They didn't look terrible on attack, but they just seem to be winning absolutely everything at the minute. Doki finding himself on 8 kills, Blur on 9. It's a real dynamic duo performance from the 2 of them, and they are on top of Damwon Kia at the minute. There is no 2 ways about it. We've said we've said a few times, Des, that we've heard that the Boogeyman is scared of Woogieman, and right now it looked like Woogieman was scared of NaVi.
Well, they were his Boogeyman in the previous round, as we saw. Still getting the kill, and him trying to not die, still find himself now on 3 and 8. Turns out his weakness is indeed that mute band, and not playing on the Maverick here, because again, they don't need it on this map, is kind of biting him in the KD department. 30 seconds in though, and Damwon Kia do seem a little bit more focused on this north side, not really starting down towards Art Studio. There's 4 of them scattered here up towards the north side, not a single man found down towards the ruined side of the map. So again, more of that focus on direct to site, or at the very least, just getting a bit of vertical control and playing off that.
Already looking for a bit of attention in towards Laundry. Rin on the Flores, going to send in the Rotero drones, just runs it around the corner. Of course, it's time limited, is that Rotero drone, for getting it in there and activating it. So him just getting as close as he can to begin with just gives him that little bit more wiggle room. Moves it around the corner, gets it onto the wall, and will take out the first piece of utility. Selma devices go on, and that is going to be the wall opened up in quick fashion inside a Laundry.
Absolutely. It's all about the slower start, though. 90 seconds into the round. And I've noticed this throughout the series more and more. Rin always has the 2 drones in back pocket. He'll spawn into it. I tell you what, that is one thing that still haunts me. Because when we first saw Rin, the question was, you know, boy or girl, we weren't sure. When we found out, I was like, okay, he. And it still creeps in because of the long hair. Looks wonderful all the time, of course. But in this case, he always has those 2 drones in back pocket, will spawn in, pick it up, take it with him, and then doesn't always bring it out. And this is where a couple of times I've said they've had 5 drones in back pocket, 1 out on the field. 2 of those 5 are normally in Rin's back pocket. So I do want to see him out in the field and being used a little bit more here. Finally got 1 out, but you're at that 60-second mark. This is where the team starts to feel a little bit strained. As we've seen in the last couple of rounds, they've kind of got themselves around the site and then not made a move yet. The wall is still electrified. It's still closed off. NaVi are just sat waiting for DAMWON Kia to do something, because right now they're doing very little.
Woogieban looking to go and join Katsang. Going to move in underneath potentially, look to clear out anybody in the basement, could then move up in front of Katsang. There is a NaVi player down there on those stairs underneath. Katsang just signalling that out. It is Doki. Out comes the Toxic Babe canister to prevent any jumping, but Doki just needs to be aware that I think there was a little movement, as I say, from one underneath. He's just holding his angle for the time being, but I think they're more aware of him than he thinks. But what a turn from Doki. Manages to find his man. Shuts down Woogieman, shut down himself, however, by a quartered ring, gets 1, and it's now 4 versus 3, 3 versus 3, it's absolute bloodbath, 2 versus 2, 5 seconds left to go. DAMWON Kia, you got to do something, quartered needs to get this down, out of time, and that's going to be the round for NaVi once again.
Good patience again, boys, very nice.
Oh, we heard a bit of talking.
We did hear it.
See, normally we hear just small, because they've got mics actually on the back side of all of this. You can see a mic. Where is it normally? They normally have a little mic tucked in behind the second player's computer just to catch a little bit of area noise. We heard it there at the end though, nice boys, nice. Love it. Normally we hear it across the arena just in general acoustics.
Depending on the team.
Yeah. And I was going to say, we knew that the game was over because it all went very quiet. MIBR weren't shouting and screaming anymore. But they did win, as we mentioned earlier on. It's looking really good for NaVi. If this carries on at this pace, where DAMWON Kia have again struggled on time despite going more direct to site, they could take this, and because MIBR won, NaVi would pull off the greatest heist in history and take 2nd place in their group, meaning they go straight through to round 1 of the upper bracket, jump entirely over the lower bracket, where at the start of the day, we weren't even sure if they'd get there in the first place, Tim.
We weren't sure at all. Things are starting to shape up a lot more, obviously, as the day goes on. We will have answers to absolutely everything by the time we get to that 4th and final game tonight. There's 2 more to come after this, and that will wrap up our final 2 groups. But this was certainly about as close as it got, with 4 teams all within a point of each other. As it stands, NaVi in a position that they could unexpectedly take 2nd place if they get the win here on Villa. 5-4, they've had the last 3 rounds consecutively now, unbeaten on defence, and they can just rinse and repeat. There's back to trophy they go, and they're going to look to hold on. They need 2 more rounds to take Villa and to be the only team so far to beat DAMWON Kia.
That'd be insane. What a last day, because I think pretty much every talent team member predicted DAMWON Kia to win this game as well. Yes. Unless Demo's just hard chilled for the UK boys, as he so often likes.
Very possible.
Very likely, and I can pretty much guarantee a beer on it. Let's see how things shape up here. We are starting out inside of the master side of things, so it's not going to be a full south side clear for DAMWON Kia. They've cottoned on to the issues. Time has not been their friend because they have spent a bit too much trying to get rid of the roamers to deal with getting control of the rest of the map. So kind of like we saw in the last site attacking downstairs, they are going a bit more direct to site. They're looking in towards master bedroom, where Saves currently is looking to challenge through. They've got to be careful, and with a Thatcher on side, things are going to speed up for them here. Already find this wall getting opened up. Saves is present, trying to get this wall re-electrified, but EMPs are just raining through to make sure this wall 100% gets opened up, and so it shall. Saves unable to stop this one.
Just going to look to get aggressive on concrete door, potentially as an alternative. Can't keep the wall closed. I will pop around the corner and kill you. But Cortage drone goes in behind him, Saves completely unaware. And they're just checking the location. They know exactly where he is, and could be an opportunity for DAMWON Kia. It's not an easy place to aggress onto, but Cortage does manage it. Look at that, straight in, and gets the kill onto the Kaid. Great start from their Barna. Takes out the Black Eye utility as well. And this is DAMWON Kia mounting what could be a little bit of a comeback.
I mean, you hope it's so. It's only one kill, and there is still plenty of time for NaVi to swing it back. That said, one comes back the other way. So, Blur going down, but from the grave, pulls the trigger on the C4, brings down Coated with him. The Habana had already done all the hard yards required. The wall's been opened up, so not really too much else to be concerned about at the moment. You got secretly dug in here as the pressure starts to fly. Those magnets are coming out, but the only thing raining in towards him are more and more flashbangs, forcing him away. Wants to step back up, but that Lion, proven to be quite oppressive, has now regained his position once again as one man's on the window, and a great cross shot comes in from the Woogie Man. 4 versus 2, and DAMWON Kia should be able to equalise things 5-5.
We could be going to 12 rounds for the third time consecutively, Des. Both maps so far have seen overtime. These two teams very evenly matched. Yas manages to get himself a kill. There is the round. There's round 10. DAMWON Kia level it up, and it's going to be all 12 of regulation.
Didn't know that in him, Tim. After 3 rounds going against them on the attacking side, I did wonder if they'd find the solution, and it turns out direct to sight was the play. Getting control of Master, opening the wall up, putting pressure onto Astro Window. They didn't worry about Aviator Games and trying to challenge onto Doki and Blur. Just said, look for the site, and that should be our point of presence. They end up with 4 people still left alive come the end of a round. Much better from DAMWON Kia. Now the attention turns back onto NaVi, because they're the ones who need to adapt and find a way to stop DAMWON Kia when they do go direct to site.
Righty-ho then, who's going to get the opportunity, Des? That is the question that's going to be answered over the next 3 minutes. One of these two teams will be able to lock it down. DAMWON Kia fight to remain unbeaten, at least. They have dropped a map now. They were at a point where they could come through groups without losing a map, but that is no longer the case after Clubhouse. But they could secure themselves the top spot, at least unbeaten. That's what they're fighting for. NaVi, however, they're fighting for second place. Give a guess, Des, that NaVi might not even know that at this point, given how complicated the table was coming into it and how many other results.
They didn't know how the game ended.
That's it. There was just so much going on. They will have no idea necessarily that they're going to be fighting for second place here. To them, the job is done. They've secured their position in playoffs, but what a better position they could secure if they could get through there and get into the upper bracket.
I think we already know actually as well. They can't finish 4th. They will definitely finish 3rd. So no matter what way you look at it, they are going to be going through into that top upper bracket, finishing in 2nd or 3rd place. The difference there being you're put into a different pool of a draw, so you can be drawn against only 3rd place teams from the other 4 groups, or the other 3 groups, sorry. I'm pretty sure if they get drawn against the team that finishes 3rd in this group, it will be redrawn to make sure there are no repeats of what we've already seen in the group stage. So finishing 2nd, you arguably come up against a weaker team, but I think at that point, 2nd, 3rd place, 1st place, they're all pretty damn strong, to be honest.
Doesn't really matter. You've got to beat the best to be the best. Yas manages to find the opener on to Blur there. Saves doing some serious work here in 90 Corridor just to keep Vault secure. So much so that DAMWON Kia have actually given up on trying to breach it at this point in time. They've dropped themselves away, and instead they're going to focus over towards that south side. And NaVi doing a great job of keeping their utility intact.
For now. It's still very early, of course, in the round as well, when you're looking at the drone count on the side of DAMWON Kia. Well, for them, they've also still got a lot of those on board. They've got Roteros to play behind, 2 of them, in fact, and Rin still with a bunch of gadgets in the back pocket, alongside Woogie Man with those air jabs. We commented on the flanks before and how really Woogie needs to be locking those down. This is a good time to start getting those air jabs out. He's currently set up on the south side here on the balcony, so looking inside a study, joined by Coated and Katsang, also rappelling up, no doubt, soon to come and join too. Katsang for now, I think, is trying to force away the shield that is set up on the main stairs, but for now, secretly is a bit too aware. Yas finding another kill, a nade kill this time coming in as well. Even with the Jaeger and Wamai on side, those nades still getting through Tim.
Secretly steps out to get another arrow taken down, but he's going to lose his head as he tries to do so. The nade will not have any effect there. Doki manages to find one onto Coated, and this could be a NaVi comeback, but it's going to have to be a big one. He's got Nath in tow with him, and it's 2v5. Doki's all alone inside a site, so Nath, you can't stay there forever. 1 minute 10 left to go. There is a lot of time to absorb the pressure, and Doki can't do it all alone. He's going to be taken down inside a site. It's Nath. He manages to get one. 3 more to find. He's moving around underneath, trying to get himself a nitro plant going down.
Which one?
He's going to run completely underneath. He goes in between the 2, finds neither Des, and the plant will be secured for DAMWON Kia. It's all up to Nath to try and retake site. He's looking for the the peak. The shield on maps is being used against him. Everything is against him right now. He needs to step inside. Time is limited. He's trying to break these down, but he can't get the first. Katsang finds it, and that's going to be Damwon Kia taking the round and getting the opportunity to remain unbeaten.
Just one more needed here as well. 7-5, otherwise, again, Tim, triple O. Of course, one of our last games in group stage would go to triple O.
If there was there's 4 pairs of casters here, so we had a 25% chance, theoretically, of if one game in the groups had to go all 3 maps to overtime. I'm not sure we've had one yet. I could be wrong. I'll stand corrected. But if one game was going to go there and it was a 25% chance, I don't think realistically, I know mathematically it's a 25% chance, but I don't think it is when it involves us. There's some sort of weighting on us. There has to be.
It's the reverse, 75% instead.
That's it. We've got the 75% chance of the triple map overtime.
All right.
We haven't done all 45 rounds, though.
No, that was...
It's going to be... if it goes to overtime...
Have we done one of them since our cast together years ago?
Since the years ago, no. Oh. It's going to be, what, a minimum of 44. 3.
Oh yeah, if it goes to 2 quick rounds.
We could lose 2 rounds.
Oh no, not 2 rounds of 45. Well, Aviator Games is going to be the site we return to once more. Nakaid on side, the Jaeger Wamai making an appearance again, but the Goyo being removed. That's what Natus swapped out here to bring along this Kaid in its place. Clearly not happy that he had to stare down against his own shield in the previous round. Doesn't want that to be a possibility. For Damwon Kia, they've seemed to have cracked the code here. The last 2 rounds, they have gone direct to site and they have walked their way through members of NaVi, largely helped by Yas in the prior round, picking up a massive 3K. One more of those and they close this out. Otherwise, NaVi take us into overtime.
Setup continues then. They're going to try to hold on to South Stairs, as we would expect. This time, it's about keeping bodies in the map, Des, because that was something that they failed to do last time around. They just got picked apart. They were 3v5 before they knew it, and Damwon Kia were able to take advantage. A lot of pressure immediately towards South Side. Looks like they're not going to push into the north, which could leave Blur completely unfound as if they don't draw on that side of the map, because they're not going to push in there. Blur does have an opportunity potentially. I was just going to say to drop underneath. He's currently still over Trophy Statuary. He could go down red stairs potentially. He could try to just sort of disappear off into the map here. That's where he goes.
Yeah, barricading every single door as well, gives him that sound cue. Does come true to it. Fortunately for Blur, or unfortunately, given all the hard yards he's just put in to make sure all those doors are locked off, Damwon Kia is simply not interested in that north side focus. Rin was for a second looking towards the 90 window. He's now backing down south to come and join the rest of the team. So Study is going to be the play once more. And hopefully for NaVi, they clock that and can just basically retool a bunch of their utility to face that way, keep them locked down. You can already see on main stairs, for example, how dug in they are with the shield, the magnets from Doki, for example. They really want to make sure there is no way in.
Opening up some verticals there, just to give the opportunity to challenge onto windows cheaply, so should somebody try to get in there. So basically, we're poised at the minute. We're halfway into the round, and we're waiting for Damwon Kia to blink, essentially. They're going and trying to clear utility out. Doki is not quick enough. He's going to lose an absolute ton of utility there. Wamai magnets, ADSs, deployable shield.
3 ADSs,
all
Tim.
be going. That is a huge loss. It's going to allow a push onto South Stairs now. They are completely unmanned. And here, Damwon Kia go, rushing in towards site. Nath.
Oh,
he needs to find his shots. He can't land any. 5v3, the opportunity was there, but it's slipping away. It's looking like third place for NaVi as it's 2v5. Doki on the fight back. It's Blur who finds the first. Can he find another? No. Has to dip away. Doki takes the challenge, drops the diffuser. It's like a hot potato, just being picked up and dropped over and over. Doki looking for another 2v3. He knows diffuser's been dropped. He's going to try and play this angle. Blur is supporting him from behind, but Rin with a rat play underneath takes him down with a shotgun. He's got one more to find. Can he peek around onto Doki? Doki has no choice but to make a challenge here. Pressure coming from multiple sides. He gets one.
Oh, wait!
Two. Surely not.
Oh!
Doki, no! Yes! Finds him on the reverse angle, as close as it was. Doki cannot finish it off, and that's going to be Damwon Kia locking out what has been a hard-fought victory against NaVi.
Well, 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 what a battle from start to finish. It was a 1v1 away from going through to overtime, but for NaVi at the least, they get third place in the group, and that itself is way more than they bargained for coming into today. Damon Kia retaining their undefeated record, but finally, it's like at the scene out of the film 300 when they throw the spear and it cuts his cheek and a little bit of blood comes out. They've shown that gods can bleed. They can lose maps, Tim.
There is a weakness there. It is possible to take maps away from this Damwon Kia side. 26 kills on that map between Blur and Doki. Absolutely unbelievable. That, as much as we say, you know, it shows that they can be run to the wire. It shows what it takes as well.
I'm a little bit exhausted. I need myself some good dinner. Yeah, that was a banger of a series. No one came into today expecting that NaVi would give Damwon Kia a show like that. But show up they have, and it does beg a big question. Are NaVi going to hold on to that form going into playoffs? Because for the first 3 games of this group, they didn't look so good.
I've talked about form before, and it's about hitting it at the right time. And if you're going to throw, you know, if you're going to hit form just before the playoffs, perfect time.
Absolutely beautiful timing. We'll be back again for another cast later on, but for now, we're going to throw over to Stream A. We'll catch up with you guys in a bit.